I'm Amber, this is
Zoe,
and welcome to our channel, About That Mama Life. If you are new here, we do content like this, DIY videos, like the DIY nap mat you're gonna see us do today. We do recipes and all kinds of other fun stuff. So if you like that kind of stuff, then give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. So if you wanna see how we created this DIY Paw Patrol nap mat, then just keep watching. Okay, so this is the nap mat I made last year. We used it all year long, even throughout the summer. I washed it at least once every week, and it still looks great condition. Say hi, Zoe.
hi.
This is her pillow. A little more worse for wear. The fabric's pretty faded at this point, but you can see it held out through an entire year. So we're gonna make a new one this year, and we are very into Paw Patrol. So we've got our supplies here. I've got 2 yards, and I bought these at Walmart. They were already pre-done, and you could buy them in a yard for $6 and change a piece. So I bought 2 of those, and then I bought half a yard of this fabric for a pillow. I have my Polyfill Extra Loft quilt batting in medium. This will just roll straight out as the filling. And then I had this giant thing of polyfill. This is just the loose filling already to fill the pillow. In addition to that, we'll need our sewing machine and some thread, a few pins, some scissors. So let's get started.
It's time to measure.
All right, so we have our measuring tape. And again, I bought this 1 yard pre-cut fabric from Walmart. You can get your fabric anywhere you like, any size you like. For this demonstration, we're 36 by 45. Last year I did mine 24 by 45. This is what it came out to look like, and for comparison, it's gonna be about the same length, but it's a little smaller in width. I have a 3-year-old toddler. Let's lay down, Zoe. Show them what you look like laid down. And she's now about a head longer and a little wider than she was last year. So we're gonna make it just a little bit wider, and we're gonna keep the length at 45. Go ahead and get up, baby. So this year, instead of 24, we're gonna go ahead and take it out to 30. So we're gonna do 30 by 45. Till you're ready to make our first cut. So what I did is put my fabric right sides together, line them up as best as you can, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna measure mine 30 inches. So I've got this fabric cutting board, I guess you can call it. I'm gonna leave my length 45, so I don't need to adjust that. I'm just gonna measure out 30 inches. Ready, baby? Help me make the first cut.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Help me. 30 inches, first cut made. And I find that getting your toddler involved in these type of activities really helps. They're invested in it, they feel like they helped make it, and it's just fun for them. You like helping mommy?
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
Wiggle.
Yeah, we do. So we're gonna go ahead and cut our 45 by 30, and we'll be right back for the next step.
Almost there. Oh, you did it.
All right. So now we have 30 by 45.
Now I have a scarf.
And you have a scarf. Next, we're gonna lay out our batting, and we're gonna cut it to fit. So we've got our sides, right sides together still, our 30 by 45. I got the medium sized batting. And the nice thing about the quilt batting is it's already flat and it's in a sheet. So we're just gonna kind of roll it out. So we're gonna fold it in half, kind of like we're folding a sheet. So now that we've folded that in half and then in half again, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of stuffing. We've laid it on top of our fabric, and what we're gonna do is just cut the fill, the batting, whatever you wanna call it, around to the same length as the fabric. So go ahead and cut this 30 by 45 or whatever your measurements are. I like to just lay it directly on top of the fabric and just cut along the sides. Now this can be a rough cut. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to shove it inside the nap mat once we've cut it. So go ahead and trim. We'll get to it. So we put our batting to the side. That's already been measured and cut. Now again, we have two completely open pieces of fabric, right sides together. What we're gonna do is line them up perfectly, and we're gonna pin them around three sides, the two short sides and one long side. Once we've pinned those three sides, we're gonna go ahead and sew it together, flip it inside out, put our batting inside, sew it together, and then we'll almost be done. So, step number 3. Pin your fabric around the sides. Line it up, right sides together. If you bought your 2 yards in one piece of fabric, you might already have one side sewed together. If you don't, pin and sew 3 sides. So I don't really have a good angle here to where I can talk to you and you can see what I'm doing. So I'm literally got you on an upside down coffee mug right now so you can see what I'm doing. Hashtag real life. Okay, so what we're gonna do is place this on our sewing machine, and we're going to sew around the 3 sides that we pinned, leaving one side open so we can do our batting. So here we are. So we have sewn our sides. What we're gonna do now, let me get a little closer. Hello. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut the corners. What I mean by that is we're gonna take our corner, here's our seam, and we're gonna cut this part here almost to where you get to the seam, so that when we flip it inside out, we can get a nice crisp corner. If you have a lot of area in between your fabric and your seam, you might want to trim it down. I don't, so I'm just going to leave it as is. We're just going to trim our corners. Any excess string I have hanging around here. It's my open edge and my other corner. Okay, let's flip this baby right side out. Grab your corner, pinch it, pull it. Then I put my hand back in and use my finger to kind of poke the corner out. And then you can just use your hand to kind of guide along the seam, pulling it right side in and poking out those corners. We now have the bones of our nap mat. We're going to go ahead and stuff this with batting. I'm going to switch batteries because my camera's almost dead, and I'll see you in a jiffy. And I'm back with a fresh battery and some batting. So we're going to lay our project out. We've got our nap mat right side in. We've got our batting ready to be filled. We're going to shove this into here, kind of as if you were putting maybe like a duvet on a comforter. I'm just going to kind of line it up with the corners, maybe more like a pillow on a pillowcase. I think that's what the example I used in my last video. Regardless, shove the thing in there. Next step. Get everything how you want it, because we are going to not only sew this shut, but we're going to sew lines down the center so that the batting does not move when you wash it. Next step, grab some pins. We are going to take our open edge and we are going to fold the ends together and we're going to pin it like that. I'm going to get closer on in here so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I've got my fabric over my batting and I've got my rough edge here. So what I'm going to do for the corner is kind of pinch it in, fold the fabric under, fold the fabric under, and then kind of pull it out so it's got a nice crisp edge. And pin it. And then it kind of leaves that folded line there that you can just continue to fold and follow down. So go ahead and continue to do the old pinch and fold trick all the way down, pinning it along the way, and we'll meet back together here to sew it up. Okay, we pinned the edge. Now we're gonna go to the sewing machine. We're gonna sew as close as possible to that edge, sealing that edge up all the way down the line. Okay, so you're gonna wanna keep your edge as close as possible. So just take it really nice and slow. Taking one pin out at a time and keeping that edge together. Okay, now you have a fully put together toddler size nap mat. We have one last step though until this is complete. All of the edges are done. This is our finished edge that we just did. And even though mine wasn't perfect, you can't even tell. Okay, so everything's together. I've smoothed it out and I've measured. After everything was sewn together, we're right at about 45 inches, right at 44. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure this every 11 inches. So I'll have 11, 22, and 33. We're gonna put pins in those sections. We're gonna take it to the sewing machine and we're gonna sew straight across at 11, 22, and 33. That way, when we put it in the dryer, in the washer, it's gonna end up, let me reference last year's. It's gonna end up looking like this with the lines sewn through. That way, as we wash it time and time and time again, every week when we take them home from school or daycare, it's not gonna bunch up in between having a mess on your hands. We're gonna go ahead and measure it out, put our pins in, and sew straight across. Okay, so I've got pins at 11, 22, and 33. Now remember, this is thick with batting, so it's gonna take a little time to get through, and it might not be a perfect line. That's okay, it's gonna be fine. So, you're just gonna kind of muscle through it. Try to keep your line as straight as you can. And remember, this is thick, so it's gonna take a little time to get through. Here's our finished nap mat. And the 4 sides make it easy to roll it on up. Okay, it's time to make our pillow. I have my nap mat rolled out and I've got my pillow fabric. What I'm gonna do is just kind of measure my pillow. This is 1/2 yard, my fabric to the nap mat. So since this is like half the width, I'll probably end up with a pillow about this size. Folded edge that's already sewn together, already one piece. So I'll trim my fabric. I will flip it right sides together. And then I will sew my 2 long sides and about half of each of these sides, leaving about an opening big enough to put a big hand into. Then what we'll do is flip it right sides out, stuff it, seam it, and sew it. So let's get to it. Okay, sorry about the background noise. We have a toddler at home, and if you're watching this video, so do you, so I know you know how that is. I've sewn all the edges except for this hand spot. So I'm gonna reach in, find a corner. I've already trimmed the edges of the corner like we did with the nap mat as well. We're gonna pull it right side out. And I like to just put my hand in the first corner and then just run my finger along the entire seam just to get everything crisp and pop out all the corners. Make sure everything's out. And this is the basis of our pillow. We're gonna now stuff it. I'm using polyfill, and this is where you can really get the toddler involved, having a good time, just grabbing handfuls of the stuffing and stuffing it right into the pillow. Once it's stuffed to your liking, it's already kind of got that pinch since we sewed the edges and left the middle open. All you have to do is run that right over through the sewing machine and you have a fluffy pillow ready to go. I'll be right back with mine. And that's the pillow, stuffed and done. Should take you like 5 to 10 minutes. It's so quick and easy. So we have our finished nap mat, matching pillow, and our little ones are ready to go. We might not be able to be with them while they're there, but it makes me feel better that they have something that reminds them of home, that we made together, that's special to them while they're at daycare or at school. I hope that you had as much fun making this as I did. So that was it. Hopefully you guys will try this out. It was very easy, it's simple, it's a fun project you can do with your little one. And even if you don't get them incorporated, if you just surprise them with it, you know, it's a really great surprise. And it's just nice to send them to preschool, daycare, camp, whatever, with something special that you made for them. It should take you start to finish 20-30 minutes. We kind of did ours in pieces today, so that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Anything else to say, Zoe?
I sing.
All right.
I don't sing.
Bye, friends.
I don't sing.
Do you like your new nap mat?
Yeah.
It is a perfect fit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
it is right my size.
It's just your size.